of 1792. All across France, there were many large areas where people were still actively resisting the French Revolution. And by then, most of the moderate revolutionaries in the Legislative Assembly had been replaced by radicals who wished to eliminate those opposed to their rule. Also that spring, a newly invented killing machine for chopping off the heads of wrongdoers, called the guillotine, was used in a public execution for the first time. It was becoming clear to the government that King Louis's efforts at finding military support were succeeding, and that a serious threat to the French Revolution was brewing to the east in the powerful kingdoms of Austria and Prussia. The revolutionaries declared war on them, and by July, foreign troops were poised to invade France. Angry revolutionaries blamed the impending invasion on the king, and early that August, his royal palace in Paris, that once overlooked these beautiful gardens, was attacked. The king and his family were hauled off to prison. 600 palace guards were massacred, and the king's remaining royal powers were suspended. Soon the guillotine was put to work again. This time, mass executions of people accused of being enemies of the revolution were carried out in various public squares in Paris. The violence continued on into the next month, and during what are called the September massacres, 1,200 prisoners, many of them members of the clergy, were cruelly butchered by the revolutionaries while still in their cells. That same September, the French army won a glorious victory by soundly defeating the invading Prussians at the Battle of Valmy in eastern France. This was a tremendous defeat for supporters of the monarchy, because a third revolutionary government, called the National Convention, was immediately established. The convention abolished the monarchy and proclaimed the birth of France's first republic, a republic being a nation run by the elected representatives of the people. The leaders of the First Republic vowed to eliminate other monarchies as well, and to sum up their vision for the French people, the motto, Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, meaning liberty, equality, brotherhood, was adopted. Early in 1793, a criminal court found the king guilty of plotting against the government and sentenced him to death. On January 21st of that year, this busy Paris square was filled with people. They were hoping to catch a final glimpse of the king before he died on the guillotine, which on that day had been set up right about here. After the execution was over, cheers filled the air as the king's severed head was shown to the enthusiastic crowd. But the king's execution had quite the opposite effect on the rulers of the kingdoms of Spain, Great Britain, and Holland, because it caused them to join with Austria and Prussia in the war against France. And despite pleas for help from its old ally, France, President Washington decided that the United States would not get involved in the rapidly escalating European war.